The new king of luxury at the Mercedes SUVs. This is the updated Mercedes GLS. We're going to find out what has changed in exterior and interior with Thomas Nautical Fuel in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the larger front grille. The Mercedes stars relatively large already, 2 horizontal spokes and the integrated star right here in the AMG line. Alternatively, if you go for the standard one, you can also get here the standing star on top of the hood, which can also have an illumination right now on markets where it's allowed. On all markets, however, you can here get this illuminated grille outline right there. It's also allowed in the EU. And then this has the night package with the dark chrome frame. Otherwise it would be bright chrome. And then you have this black mask around, which also leads over that this looks like an open front hood, but it's not, it's properly closed, but it just has the bigger contrast then. And it's supposed to be also a little bit functional for air intakes, they say. Then the AMG line has these spokes in the lower part and new headlamps as well in the star pattern. Also where the indicators would appear, and the matrix LED is an option, the digital light at Mercedes. Dark petrol is this interesting new color, unique color. 5.22 meters or 2.5 inches is the length, and the wheels from 20 to 23 inch, but these ones are almost the biggest ones. This is here 22 inch. Here also painted wheel arches, for example, for this AMG line, and the night package also black frames around. This would be once again different if you have the standard version. Airmatic air suspension is standard, and optionally you can get the e-active body control, which would actually do something like this. You know, you can lean the car into the corner with that, or keep it upright depending on the driving mode, or get, you know, with up and down movement out of sand or something. It's an option, you don't have to go for it. And big news also for the rear, 3-star design here. This outline, which looks cool. GLE has 2 stars actually. And then this huge new black bar in the middle part. Not the biggest fan of it. Same goes for the GLE SUV in the facelift. Only the GLE Coupe does not get that actually. Yeah, and you see this typical upright GLS style. All-wheel drive, always with a rear wheel bias. And we can also take a look under the hood because they have, you know, rearranged the engine line a little bit. There is no plug-in hybrid available. That's only for the GLE. And here under the hood, everything with MHEV system, a little bit torque upgrades, for example. And we have the GLS 450, there we go, which is also placed in here, the 3-liter 6-cylinder. On top of that, on the petrol side, you can also get the 4-liter V8 bi-turbo. And on top of that, there will once again be a 63 version coming up at a later stage in the facelift. Then there's also the diesel side, where you can get 2 different horsepower outputs, for example. So here we go. And my favorite feature is actually the electric folding of the seats. And that is coming up very soon on the interior. Now to the interior. This is the key fob here, by the way. We know that from Mercedes, but yeah, it's actually nice. Then here, door closing sound. In the front, I also experienced that with the GLE. Interesting. The rear, both GLS, GLE sounds really solid, but the front, more high frequency, you know what I mean? Then here in the front, everything is nicely covered, and here also soft for your elbow, classic controls for the windows, for example, and beautiful this matte wood deco element. All the deco elements in wood are now with this open cell. Separate buttons for the seat cooling and for the seat heating, and also easy to control the seat right here electrically. And beautiful Burmester sound system. They have an awesome sound, I can tell you. Then the Mercedes-Benz entry badge, also some illuminated high floor AMG mat. And here from it, this is actually quite cool. Nice to see that.
Nice when you would have a carpet like that.
yeah, actually, this is a nice AMG high floor carpet at home. Gotta ask for that, right? And then here with the AMG line, you also have the AMG steering wheel with the 2 spokes, otherwise 1 spoke, and return of the rockers and rollers on the steering wheel. Here they have this haptic interface, not only the capacitive thing on the lower part, also new air vent design here, for example, for the side, and soon more to all the screens and so on. Seats, you will also get different colors. In the North American market, you can get the Artico leatherette with perforation, also seat cooling. In Europe, they only offer the animal skin, sadly. And this, I asked them, like, are the seats already broken? And they said this is like a special pattern from furniture industry. I didn't know that. If you don't know that, you surely think that the whole seat is broken already. So I don't really get this trend. But I mean, maybe I'm not a furniture expert in that. I don't know. The base ergonomics of the seat is actually fine. And the steering wheel has here the electric control, up and down, in and out. And no, those position. No, not yet. There we go. So, and then I can test the headroom here, 1A9602. And I love this microfiber covering all the way on the ceiling and also here on the visors. So here we also have the 2-split visor. You can put this one forward and this one to the side. Always great to have this one too. And the cockpit perspective here, new screens, 1, 2, 3, 12.3 inch each, and one horizontal layout, large bezels though in between, soon more to the software and so on. Yeah, but it's actually quite...
Welcome back, Wilhelm Maybach.
Oh, now I picked the profile of Wilhelm Maybach. Oh, he seemed to be a little bit shorter than me, right? That's why the seat went up. Well, then also with the new air vents here with nice clicking sounds like this, and also still here the manual climate dials with great clicking sounds. Love to see that. I really fancy this wood decor element. You can get these dark brown seats, by the way, but also a lighter brown and the beige and the black, and then you can also pick here the wood accordingly. Inductive charging pad, 2 USB-C chargers, adaptive cup holders, heated and cooled also if you like that, but they don't catch bottles that well. Therefore they are too large and they have only one adaptive thing here. And you have this grab handle here. Ambient lighting is alongside that if you like that. And you can also put the air suspension here up and down with this central knob. And then the split armrest with some more space underneath and USB-C charging. Oh, and cup holders here also, once again, on the back part of the middle console for the rear seats or additional for the front seat, for example. Headroom here with 1A9602, no problem. And this one is a panoramic roof. You can still actually really open, and it goes all the way across the vehicle and is also standard equipment for the GLS, for the GLE now as well. It also has a shade we can apply as well. I can also show that to you. I would like to hear your opinion, what you think about this new screen setup. What is clear is that it looks more modern. Not sure who is going to use the passenger display. Some might, some don't. So that always depends. It definitely looks more modern. There, meanwhile, I've applied this shade here because, yeah, the sun is picking up now here in the southern Spain area. So that might be a good use case and also to apply this shade. And the driver POV, once again, here with the new knobs. Capacitive is this lower part where you, for example, also change the digital instruments. And like this, yeah, you can have a map view or assistant system view, or this is my preferred view, so to speak. Large header display is also right there. Can hardly pick it up on camera on bright daylight. And then the map behind it, it looks like Mercedes Maps, but it is actually Google Maps in the back end. So also for the route recalculation and so on. This is the main menu, also way quicker now than before. Did I press the owner's manual? Excellent Baumeister sound system, and this also has the intense sound mode for electronic music, for example. Also nice visualizations from the vehicle right here. You can also activate the, whoa, that screen gets super hot in the sun. I just feel that. But you can also deactivate it here with the hotkey in the top part, and you can also press and hold the volume button right there. This would also activate or deactivate this EU speed chime. And Leah can maybe show us something from the passenger display.
Maybe the camera?
Oh, the camera. Not sure whether it's yeah, you need a USB storage for that actually when
Playing Angry Birds.
Angry Birds again, or
Champion.
yeah, so games are also included in that one if you want to do that as a passenger while driving. What would you pick in the passenger screen?
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds it is, yeah. Then the rear seats, they can also move electrically here. Move forward, for example, and backward, and also the inclination can be changed. I gotta say though that the bolstering is kinda stiff, So I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most comfortable experience here in the rear. I'm also fall backwards a little bit with that seat. Yeah, so I would expect a little bit more comfort in the base comfort. Some like way cheaper SUVs are definitely more comfortable in the rear. Gotta say that. Then Isofix on the outside each is a nice cover here. They can also apply it to this new middle console. You can still sit here, but then you can also fold this down, and then you have, like in the S-Class facelift, these individual control units for the rear screens. If you want to do something with that, you can, for example, activate the seat massage on these controllers here. And inductive charging pad, some more space underneath a little bit, and then also 2 USB-C chargers underneath. And here you have these new controllers where you can, for example, also control the seat massage with, or also control the sunblinds if that's really needed. And you can also put them out and take it in your hand. These rear screens are also an option. They are with touch, by the way. And you can, of course, also remove that whole thing again. Middle part, you have a climate unit. It's not on here at the moment, right and left. And in the very low part, there are extendable 2 USB-C chargers and also the HDMI port for the screens. Now to the third seating row, and what I did here is the seat on the right side back there. This is how I can still sit in the second seating row. So I set this one a little bit more forward. Let's see the result then. And I also want you to pay attention here in this area. When the seat is folding, that you check out how the seat goes in there, because that's very exciting. On the top here I have this button. I can then pull, and then the seat moves forward, the whole bench. That's actually pretty cool. Now look at that. You see that must scratch, but it does actually not. So that is some clever engineering indeed, because that way this one goes all the way forward. Wow, look at that. And I can also then get in the third seating row right here. And the thing is, as I said, I set this here to the position where I could still sit as a tall adult, and then you can see, yeah, it doesn't really work. So it's not for adults here in the rear, even though it's a long vehicle. This is more than here, this soccer game thing. And you also have Isofix here on the last seating row, on the third seating row. So at least they thought of that. So that's actually quite fancy. And you also have seat heating, USB-C chargers here, and you can also fold the seats electrically from here. So that's a good luxury feature. Some couples, they're not adaptive though. And headroom, actually, that does work. So headroom-wise, you could sit here as tall adult, but just from the legs doesn't work, even if I have moved this one here a little bit forward. Now to the trunk or the boot. Let's check it out with my favorite folding seat function. By the way, we just had a very, very cute visitor when we were filming our vertical format. Just a cutie dog, and maybe he wanted to check out the trunk as well here of the GLS. By the way, some chainsaw sounds in the background, doesn't belong to the car. Here, this one also still fits like this when the third row is up. And then you have a 1.20 m or 48 inches here in the first width. That's actually quite good. And still a length of about 22 inches and 55 centimeters underneath. You can also store this cover right there. You can also install it then here in this position. And well, the magic knob is here on this side, because then you can just push all once, and then here these head restraints, they actually move up first, and then both rows go down automatically. This is an amazing function, really. I love that. I could play with that actually all day, Homer Simpson style. Then here, the length to the second row, this would be 47 inches, 1.20 m, and the total length, you can see the ruler disappears in this vehicle. So this is then here like 2.79 meters, and even a little bit more than that. So that's like, what is it, like 84 inches and 2.15 meters. So that's actually pretty cool. And of course, also significant height. This one here is still a space machine, so to speak. There we go. So here we are also at like 33 inches, 84 centimeters. So that's pretty cool. Underneath here again, you know, for the storage, for the cover, a little bit more space underneath there theoretically. And now can also individually move them back again, for example, like this. So I can just put this seat up, or then, maybe also one of the seats from the rear row. So whatever you like, you can do that individually, or you can also just pull all and then everything goes up again. Yeah, it's always very spectacular to see here. I love that. Sometimes you have to pull it then maybe one more time that everything goes into the original position, but couldn't be easier. Pricing at least 110,000 euros is the so far price. The new price will be rather a little bit above that for the European pricing mark. And it is very expensive, yes, but the GLE is already very expensive. And here, of course, you get somewhat more car, if you can fit that around, like in the parking garage and so on. Sadly, no rear axle steering, neither for the GLE nor for the GLS. That would be a very good thing, especially for the European markets, for example. And another special thing is also that if you go for the 6-seater, in comparison to the X7, here you can fold the seats, but in the X7, the captain seats are, let's say, a little bit more luxurious, larger, but then they can fold that well. And if you're interested in that, you can also check out the BMW X7 review as a contrast, or if you're also interested in the GLE update right now.